What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to yet another episode of Smart Money Sundays. Hope you're doing well and ready for the week ahead. If you've been paying attention to the series, you will know, especially last week, we really talked about expected downside on the typical pairs that we cover on the dollar pairs. And as you can see, Euro USD and AU and GU also died last week. Okay, just as expected. So I hope you could find some good trading opportunities during the week. We certainly did with our VIP Signals group. If you're not in that, you're going to want to join that. Message us on Telegram at Ariel FX Trading so you can jump on board and trade alongside us. But anyway, we had the moves as expected on our pairs covered last week. Very nice. We pretty much just opened last week and fell off of a cliff here on EU, obviously. Okay, and so what I want to do today is also continue to go over EU, AU, and GU and look at kind of our downside targets. All right, and so on EU, obviously you could have seen, and we've talked about this before, the manipulation here in the break structure to the upside. We are in a higher time frame retracement. On the weekly time frame, we're in a weekly retracement. We're in a daily downtrend at the moment. Okay, but as you can see here from this is the daily time frame. But if you can think about it from a weekly perspective, we are trading down into discount now. Okay, and so what I want to point out here within old price action, okay, is this former gap here in price, okay, where I would expect to see some type of sensitivity. So potentially run down into this week and have a reaction, but not necessarily a full-on reversal and a bottom of this corrective trend, okay? Ultimately, I would like to see us trade down into this inefficiency here, okay, at 1.1, and potentially, somewhat fill in this wick. This wick is simply down close volume on a lower time frame. Okay, so down close volume prior to a significant rally to the upside, we would classify this as a sell to buy. And we teach a lot of this in our courses. Be sure to take part in our courses. They're all packed with really significant and life-changing information. So can't recommend those enough. But anyway, again, we have this former gap, which I will expect to see some type of sensitivity here this week, especially with this significant inefficient move that we had last week where we just straight up sold off. Okay, barely any wick even to the upside. Okay, so I would like to see some type of run on the previous week's low and then the pop up. Now we'll hop on down again to the lower time frame, kind of show you more so what I'm looking at. All right, Friday's price action ended in a nice doji. Okay, so typically what we'd like to see on a Sunday Monday is, okay, we want to gauge. We're going to be attacking, okay, the high from Friday or the low from Friday. I would like to see, obviously, because we've been in a downtrend, momentum is to the downside. I'd like to see that pop up on a Sunday, Monday, running out Friday's high. Okay, and in this case, I'd like us to run the high and come into obviously an old low here, and I can even hop down to the 15-minute. You can kind of see this inefficiency here as well. Okay, so potentially looking at something like a run up. Maybe generate liquidity, New York session, come into our level, and then start to sell off again. That would be nice. Okay, I'd like to see that, especially with the right time and price so that we can get short again. Now, if we do pop up further, I could see us running up into our inefficiency here where we had that manipulation on the lower time frames, and you can see this bit of inefficiency here. Okay, so if we do breach this level running up, then I would expect price to then be attracted to this inefficiency. Okay, and then we can look for a higher premium to sell this thing again. Okay, I would simply prefer this, the run on Friday's high into this old low to the left, and then a run on the previous week's low. Okay, but if we do break, here's that level I would be looking at. You can see the manipulation and the inefficient move, leaving this imbalance here. Okay, right around 1.1270. Okay. Conversely, what could also happen is we leave Friday's high intact and we open up and we trade down through Friday's low, previous week's low, and down into our level that we just talked about here. Okay, 1.11, 1.111 is this kind of zone I'd be looking at. Okay, and in that case, if we have the initial run to the lows on a Sunday, Monday, then I would be looking for potential accumulation to get this thing, to take this thing higher for a retracement. Okay, and then we can look for our ultimate sell-off down into our weekly inefficiency. Okay, so I hope this is making sense. I'm basing a lot of this upon time and price and the nature of price action, how it behaves. Particularly at the beginning of the week relative to how we closed the prior week. Okay, so in my mind, it's pretty straightforward. I hope you mark these levels off. Again, we'll break these things down further within our VIP channels and our continuous education channels for those who have taken the courses, which is an open forum for people to discuss. A nice addition to our paid courses. People get to discuss and send analysis in, whereas with VIP we simply send our analysis and our trade ideas for people to copy and paste. So message us if you're interested in either of those products. Okay, so that is Euro USD, what I'm looking at for the week. And again, it's going to give us somewhat of a clue on something like GBP USD. Okay, now this one also died last week. As you can see, daily time frame, we're still in a big downtrend with the lower lows and lower highs. The lower high trading into the nice up close candle here. So naturally, what do we expect? Okay, with a lower low and a lower high, we would naturally expect a new lower low, ultimately, and running out the liquidity resting beneath these relative equal lows here. Okay, so pretty straightforward, pretty strong confluence here that we will indeed be seeking out the liquidity here. Okay, so that tells us we should be looking for shorting opportunities as pretty much all the time frames are aligning here. And somewhat in alignment with EU, I'd like to see somewhat of a retracement here. We've got the 4-hour 50 EMA coming in, as well as strong supply and a nice inefficiency. Okay, so here you can see the buy to sell running out the liquidity here, just barely running out the liquidity, and the inefficient move, leaving this imbalance here in the market. Okay, so if we could trade up into that, you can imagine that's a nice, probably 78.6 fib, 71.78. Nice premium to get short again on this market. Okay, so this is a very simple, straightforward level here on GBP USD. Okay, that is what I would like to see. All right, and so if indeed, just like EU, we open up, then we can look for maybe some accumulation and then long it into our level and then look for shorts. Okay, but obviously with everything aligning to the downside, we prefer just to pop up, run through Friday's high, get that premium, and continue to sell this thing. All right, so that is GBP USD. I really do like this inefficiency here. All right, so keep an eye out and mark those off on your charts. All right, so EU and GU, kind of the most straightforward out of the three that we like to cover here. We also have that daily 50 EMA and up close here as well. So lots of confluence building around this level. All right, and then finally AU. Man, was this a beautiful opportunity here from the 20th of January. Nice inefficiency trading into an up close candle that ran out liquidity. All right. And we've sold off ever since. Okay, running out now relative equal lows here on the weekly time frame. Okay, you can see we've run through it. Okay, we are in a downtrend, so I would expect to see some more potential downside and maybe a fulfillment of daily fib move here into that negative 27. But ultimately, what I really want to see on AU is this objective met here at 688. Okay, this is really where we had that fake COVID sell-off. Okay, the sell to buy, and really here on the weekly time frame, we're not even trading into discount yet. Okay, big impulsive expansionary move. We're obviously in a downtrend here on the daily, but we're still not into discount even on the weekly. Okay, so I would ultimately like to see further discounted prices here, and then we could potentially look at longer term swings again to the upside. Potentially, okay? Now I only say that because price, even with this significant sell to buy, we didn't break this high. We actually just simply respected it. So, this is going to have to be a judgment call based upon what other dollar pairs are doing. But just given the nature of this liquidity grab here, I would favor, a higher low being printed for a new higher high. Okay. In terms of pertinent setups on this one, I really don't see too much, as we really did just sell off substantially here last week. Okay. And we have now run out the equal lows. So this is one I would kind of just wait and see, and not really look to attack this one, as we do have EU and GU printing more clearer price action coming into the week ahead. All right, so this is just an overview. Again, use EU and GU as kind of a guide if you're really looking to trade AU this week, and use that confluence from EU and GU and what the dollar is doing. If EU and GU are getting into those premium POIs, then potentially AU would be getting ready to sell off as well. All right, but again, not much in terms of a POI here on the Aussie dollar. All right, so hope you enjoyed this session. Hope you mark off the levels. These videos are very powerful in your preparation for the week ahead, as everything relates to the dollar. Okay, so again, if dollar is strong, foreign currencies are weak, and vice versa. All right, message us on Telegram at ArielFX Trading if you want to get involved in our community or take our courses, or on Instagram at Ariel__FX, and we'll be happy to get you involved. All right, have a great week.